Right then, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to Crypto Space. In today's video, we are going to cover ICP, its recent price action. We are going to cover a couple of interesting news for ICP, as well as a couple of interesting charts for BTC and alts, in which ICP is of course included. So if you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing, and a quick disclaimer that this video is not a financial advice. And now let's hop into ICP itself. ICP is currently trading at $16.72 and is currently experiencing 9.5% of leg down. And market cap is currently sitting at 7.6 billion USD. 24-hour trading volume is currently sitting at 307 million USD, well, almost 308 million. So if we are going to look at the 24-hour chart over here, it doesn't look great at all on ICP. However, I do believe that this is one of the last shakeouts over here before the proper alt season is going to kick in. But of course, let's first of all cover a bit of a news. So these are photos from ICP and ETH Seoul. So obviously ICP team was there as well, and this is something great to see. Just in case if you'll be wondering why am I showing you that, is because obviously if we invest into project like ICP, we would like to see the work ongoing constantly depending on where they are currently located. And again, it's great to see that this is happening in Korea, where people have a lot of money into investing in general into crypto. But right, let's have a look at the DeFi itself. So the DeFi currently is sitting at 34 million USD, and if we are going to look at that volume, that is constantly increasing, which is obviously great. But right, let's finally have a look at the chart. So let's first of all examine the previous pump over here. In the previous video, I was mentioning that I wouldn't be surprised at all if ICP is going to pull back to that level of $15 roughly to retest that zone as a support over here, and looks like it's pretty much happening at the moment. I'm not saying that it will going to happen, is going to happen, but it definitely can. So let's have a look. The first pump, as we can see, we have pulled back to 0.382 Fibonacci zone, and we have roughly touched 0.5 zone on Fibonacci, and after that we have jumped towards the upside over here for ICP. So let's have a look at this recent price action over here for ICP. So as we can see now, we have already dipped to that zone of 0.382, and if we are going to, let's say, retest that level as a support, and then of course we are going to at the same time to dip to that level of 0.5 Fibonacci zone, and after that we could potentially see some upside potential for ICP. And again, of course, I could be wrong, the price could go right away. And if we are going to look at the BTC's chart, that's pretty much obvious why ICP is dipping. Obviously the whole market is dipping, but I do believe that this is the last chance. And why do I think that? Well, first of all, because we are so close to the halving event, we have dipped from area of hodl, yellow zone, to still cheap. And I believe that these pullbacks now, and of course I'm talking about BTC, but of course it applies to ICP and any other project, these times are the best last times to buy, I believe, because later on we are not going to have such a possibility. The prices of ICP are going to be definitely much bigger. Shout out to El Crypto Prof, and let's have a look at the perspective of BTC and alts together. So new month, so I think it's time to update the big picture again. OBV very bullish, TSI bullish cross. I think we are just seeing the reaccumulation here before the next leg higher. So I do believe that this is the case as well. Of course, market doesn't go high right away in the cycle, and it sees a pullbacks. However, if we are going to see what happened in 2020, 2021 for alts and BTC together, when we were out of the accumulation zone, we can clearly see that we had a bit of a pullback, and after that we had a proper cycle. So as we can see, we have the same price action over here for BTC and alts as well. And I do believe that things after the halving event, which is obviously happening in 2 weeks, we can expect much bigger prices for our ICP and BTC. Bitcoin has finished a monthly close above the previous cycle peak, monthly close for the 5th time in a history since 2011 now. In all 4 cases before, the following months were bright green with runs of 300 to 1500% up. So guys, the party is just starting over here for BTC and of course for alts. So let's have a look at that chart. We had a bullish crossover, and we are not even on the 70 over here on RSI, which means that any pullback, in my opinion, not a financial advice of course, any pullback is a blessing to scoop up more ICP, more BTC, etc. Now let's have a look at the possible targets. Of course, it's not necessarily said that we are going to see the straight up gold candle of 200-300k for BTC. Obviously there are going to be pullbacks on the way, and of course there are going to be those taken profits moments for the market. But if we are going to look at potential targets, that's going to be around 240k if we are going to follow that ascending trend line over here for BTC. And I would say that is probably very accurate, so shout out to the Scalping Pro. And now let's have a look at the perspective of Fibonacci. So each time Bitcoin has flipped 0.618, it has triggered a massive bull run. So let's have a look at the previous bull cycle in 2015, 2017. So let's have a look. Once we have reached that zone of 0.618 Fibonacci, then we had parabola, just like we had rejection over here in the previous bull cycle. And then we have broke above that zone, and then obviously that was a parabola. And now as we can see over here, we got a bit of rejection from 0.618. And as we can see over here, we have that parabola, but of course that is coming very slowly because that is a very zoomed out chart. Okay, so we do have to be a little bit more patient over here to take our profits out of ICP. Shout out to Stock Money Lizards. So Bitcoin has entered the hot momentum phase. Around halving, it is usually time to forget about what you've learned about RSI and indicating overbought or oversold levels. And that, guys, is true. Obviously that is going to be on overbought territory very often, and it's definitely going to stay there for a bit longer than usual because we have entered that hot phase for BTC. So from now on, we could expect our money to go, our investments in general, into ICP and BTC only upwards. But of course, that is going to take a while. And now finally, altcoins. So let's first of all examine the Gaussian channel. As we can see, we've just flipped green on Gaussian channel. And of course, I'm not saying that right away we are going to see that huge gold candles, but as we can see here, we have a bullish price action for alts. However, that's coming with time. And as we can see, what happened after that second curve, we had a huge parabola in the previous bull cycle for alts. So I don't think that this time is going to be any different. And if we are going to look at the perspective of reaching all-time highs for alts, we still haven't reached the previous highs that leads us back to the previous bull cycle, because as we can see here, we still haven't reached that level, not mentioning about the all-time highs. So first of all, we have to reach that level on alts, and after that we are going to talk about all-time highs. However, if we are going to do 6x from where we are at now, we are looking at $4 trillion market cap over here for alts. So that is very bullish. And if we are going to look at things from the perspective of Bitcoin dominance, as we can see, Bitcoin dominance is significantly dropping right now, and we could expect Altseason in coming weeks, I would say. However, it's not going to be straight up Altseason because of course BTC's dominance is going to jump back. However, if we are going to look at that resistance, looks like we are being rejected over here on the monthly time frame on the Bitcoin dominance, which means that our ICP is going to see different price levels in coming weeks. Ladies and gents, thank you very much for watching that quick ICP update. I hope that you have enjoyed it, and I wish you having a great day or evening wherever you are in the world. Peace and love, crypto.